Hello friends, my name is Kunal and welcome to Neural Kunal. Today we are going to learn about MLflow, which is a very famous MLOps based platform. So let us start with MLflow. So now what is MLflow? It is an open source developer platform to build AI applications and models with confidence. Okay. Now let us understand it in deep manner. So it helps us to create GenAI apps and agents and model training. Enhance your GenAI applications with end-to-end tracking, observability, and evaluations all in one integrated platforms. And now model training streamline your machine learning workflows with end-to-end tracking, model management, and deployment. Now let us get further. Trusted by thousands of organizations and research teams, integrated with 25 plus apps and frameworks. See, it is integrated with PyTorch, OpenAI, Hugging Face, Llama Index, TensorFlow, Scikit-learn, GrooveEye, and various others. Okay. Now let us get started with MLflow. Now let us understand MLflow in a deep manner. Okay. Now let us first of all understand MLflow with the help of data science project life cycles. See, this is an life cycle of a data science projects. So first of all, we need to prepare the data. Now this data preparation is very important process. It is generally done by the data engineer. Data engineers. Okay. Their main aim is to get data uh, from various data APIs or databases, you can say, with the help of ETL pipelines. Now, exploratory data analysis. It is mainly done by the data scientist. Here, the here we are understanding the data, performing statistical analysis with the help of graphs and charts. Now, feature engineering. In this, we are understanding the data and changing the data to ordinal encoding, or we are doing data preprocessing here, seeing the data, seeing the various things in data, and performing various things such as independent columns, performing trend test split, model selection, we can say, and various other things. Now, model training. It is also a very important part of an data scientist, and from the model validation and deployment, it is the main work of the MLOps engineer. MLOps engineer. Okay, Th- this is the main work of an MLOps engineer. What the model validation and the deployment and the monitoring also, we can say. Now let us understand the why data scientists use the ML flow. So let us understand why data scientists use why data use ML flow. Okay, first of all, they are using it for experiment experiment tracking and hypothesis testing. Okay, you know that when we are performing EDA, and EDA means exploratory data analysis, we are performing there are statistical analysis also. and the statistical analysis is done with the help of hypothesis testing. Okay, so we are not performing a statistical analysis at once, we are performing it many times, so to understand our data more accurately. So it is very important to track that. Okay, now our second point is code strengthening, code strengthening and structuring. Okay, now you can see that we are creating the pipeline here. Okay, but with the help of MLflow, we can create these pipelines more accurately and understand it more clearly. Now our third point is model packaging and dependencies. Now you know that when we are creating an end-to-end ML based project, we have to create some files like setup.py and py project dot 2ml to basically package our projects and maintain the dependencies. Now our fourth point is, what is our fourth point? Evaluating evaluating hyper parameter tuning. Whenever whenever we are any model training model, so we use various params to train that model and to make the accuracy more. So it help us to, now the ML4 help us to create these params with more combinations, you can say. So it has help us. So the ML flow help us ML flow help us to make or use params with very with various, you can say, various combination. Okay, now our last point is compare the model results. Okay, fifth point is compare the model result. Now when we are creating various models, so we can compare it with various other models so that we can see which model is performing well. It this is this we are doing in the MLflow UI. We will see that now. Now the second topic is why it is famous among the ML ops engineer or ML ops professional. You can say ML ops engineer or professional. Okay. First of all, the first point is manage the life cycle of trained models. Okay, it helps it help us to manage the life cycle of trained models. Okay, which we have trained, which we have trained, and which we are which we are going to train. Means the past in the past means the past and future. You can say like this. Okay. Now the second point is it help us it help us to deploy the model securely to the production. Okay. It also help us to it also help us to manage various dependencies. Okay. You know that generative AI is getting more famous now. So we can now use this MLflow in generative AI for creating a generative AI application also. Now let us see, or you can say that for prompt engineering. Okay, understand it. ML flow for prompt engineering. Okay, the first point is it help us to evaluate and experiment with various LLMs. Okay, or large language models. You can say help us to create. In the second problem is help us to create the custom prompts. Okay, okay. This is the two main point for prompt engineering in MLflow. Okay. Now let us understand the use case of the MLflow, which is a main point here. Use case of ML flow. Now, the first and very important use case is experiment tracking. Okay, it helps to it help us to track it help us to track various metrics, params, and various other things. Okay, it helps. Second point is it helps us for model model it help us for model selection and deployment. Okay, and also help deploy. And the third point is it help us to track the model performance. Or we can say monitoring. Okay, and the main and the important and the last important point is we can create collaborative project in ML flow. Okay, so this was an theoretical knowledge about ML flow. Now in next part we will understand and do the practical. Okay, now let us start with the ML flow practical. First of all, we need to open our VS Code, and in VS Code we have to open the command prompt. So let us open the command prompt and create the virtual environment. See, I have created it, but now if you want to create the virtual environment, first of all you have to write conda create minus p bnb python your python version. Okay, now it will create the virtual environment. Now let us wait. It is creating. May take some time, but it will create. Now our environment is created. Now we have to activate this environment. For activating the environment, we need to write conda activate in VNV, which is the name of our virtual environment. Okay. Now our virtual environment has been activated. Now let us clear our terminal. Now, now we have to create a file. And the name of the file will be requirement.txt. In this file, we will write all the things which we need to install for performing the MLflow task. First of all, we will write MLflow. Okay. Now let us install it. For installing it, we have to write the command. We have a command prompt pip install -r requirements.txt. Basically, you have to write the name of the file only. Now our MLflow is installing. See, it will take some amount of time. So let us install it first. Now our MLflow is installed successfully. Now let us know that what we have to we will do in this video. So first of all, I will create a file. The name of the file will be uh, tracking.ipynb. Okay. Now first of all, in this file we need to select our Python version, which is 3.11. Now we have to install an IPy. So let us clear this. Now let us import MLflow. Now it is telling us that we have not installed the IPy kernel for running this Jupyter Notebook. Now first we need to install the IPy kernel. Let us install pip install IPy kernel. Now it will install the IPy install kernel. Now see it is installing. Now our IPy kernel is also installed. Now let us import the MLflow. Now our MLflow is imported successfully. Now first of all we will learn how to set the tracking URI in the MLflow. Okay, so let us do that. For tracking the MLflow, we will write MLflow dot set tracking URI, and we will give our local host and port, which is HTTP 127.0.0.0.01 5000. Okay, now let us see it is working or not. Now it is yes, it is working. Now let us set the name of the experiment which we have to track. So dot set experiment, which will be, let us set the name of the experiment will be my first experiment. Okay, now let us log some metric in this experiment. Okay, for logging some metric we have to write with MLflow dot start run. Okay, we will write MLflow dot log metric. Let us keep the name key one. Okay. The second will be MLflow dot log metric, and this name will be key2. Okay. Let us run this. To see this log metric in our MLflow UI, first of all, we need to start our UI from our command prompt. Okay, in that way only we can see that our experiment has been logged to the UI of the MLflow. If we will not run the MLflow UI in our command prompt, so we cannot log our experiment. So first of all, we need to start our MLflow server. For starting our MLflow server, we need to write MLflow UI. Now this command will start our MLflow server. Now see, the folder has been created. The name of the folder is MLruns. Now it is running. Let us wait. See, now it is run successfully. Now we can view our experiment here. See, this is our experiment which we have tracked. We will click here and we will see here. See, which is model matrix, this is system matrix, this is stress, this is artifacts. Actually, we are not able to see the artifact because we have not created it. Because we have not logged any model here. You can see from here only we are getting the information in our UI. See, this is zero, this is metadata, this is our experiment. Okay, this is our artifact which is empty because we have not created it. This is matrix, this is key, this is key two, params which we have not created, tags this will show some information, metadata, and this is also metadata. Okay, now let us create a small project. Okay, so for creating that project, first I have to install some important libraries. First of all, I will import install one library. The name of the library is Scikit-learn. Okay, this is very famous library in machine learning. Pandas in one is NumPy. Now let us install it. First of all, we need to install our server. Now install script. Install -r requirement for txt. Now it will install all the libraries. Now after our library is installed successfully, now let us start with our project. Now let us create one file. The name of the file will be project.ipynb. Okay. Now first of all, let us select our Python environment. Now let us import some libraries. Now first we will import uh, the MLflow. Import MLflow. Okay. Now let us import train trace bit from Scikit-learn. particularly model selection from a scalar dot model selection import train test split. Now we will import sklearn. Now we will import the dataset dot datasets import from sklearn dataset import load iris. Okay, which is an classification dataset and very famous dataset. Now let us import one machine learning algorithm. The name of the algorithm is logistic regression because we are using IRI dataset and it is a classification dataset. So we need to uh, work with the logistic regression from sklearn dot uh, sklearn dot linear model import logistic regression. Okay, now we will import some metrics. So let us import from sklearn dot metrics import accuracy score because we are dealing with classification, so we are importing the accuracy score. Okay, now let us import last thing also from s from MLflow dot model import infer signature. Now first of all run this. Now see it has been done successfully. Now let us load our dataset. For loading our dataset, we will write dataset load iris, which is the name of our dataset, return our x and y value. Okay, now let us examine x and y here. Now we will perform perform the model selection. Okay, we will write x train, x test, y train, y test, train test, split x comma y test size 0.2, which is 20%. Okay, now let us also give some hyperparameters for hyperparameter tuning. Okay, and this is our hyperparameters. You can take the hyperparameters from the scalar documentation from Google. Okay, Uh, and the prerequisite is you should know some have some knowledge about machine learning for performing the MLflow task. Okay. Now let us define our model. Okay. So logistic model, which is logistic. I will define one params here. We will define in double static because uh, we are dealing with key value pairs. Okay. Logistic model dot fit x train and y train. Okay. Now let us start with the prediction. We will perform the prediction here. Now let us predict by parade the name of our model logistic model. Okay. Dot predict, which is x test. Okay. X test. Now let us define our accuracy score. We will define our accuracy score, which is ACC accuracy score. Now let us give here our y test, y test and y spread. Okay. Now let us see. Now let us run this. Params is not defined. It is showing an error. Okay. Let us see what is the error. Okay. Here is a spelling mistake. Now see. It is the accuracy of our model. Okay. Which is 96%. Okay. Now let us perform the MLflow task. Now let us perform the MLflow task. First of all, we have to set our tracking URI. We write MLflow dot set tracking URI. Okay. Now let us write HTTP 127.0.0.1 5000. Let us see it is working or not. MLflow. Okay, it is working. Now let us log some metrics and params. We will write. Okay. We will write here First of all, let us set an experiment. MLflow dot set experiment, which is classification classification experiment. Okay. Now let us start with logging parameters and metrics. Okay. Now we will write with MLflow dot start run MLflow dot log params. Name is params only. Let us open params here. Now let us log some metrics. MLflow dot log whatever maybe right. Let us define metrics. Okay. Now let us write MLflow dot log metric. You can also write metrics if we are using more than one metrics. Okay. Well, now we are only using the accuracy score, so we will write the single one only. It is giving us two options. One is metric and one is matrix. For using metrics, we need more 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 means more metrics. Okay, like accuracy, precision, recall, this type. But we are only using here accuracy, so we will go with a metric. Okay. Now let us set. What was the name of it? Okay, it is right. Now let us set our tag MLflow MLflow dot set tag. Okay. Now let us write model training. Anything we can write we have because it reminds us what we are doing. Okay. Now right, we are performing ML flow task. Okay. Now we will log the model. Before logging the model, now we have to do one step more, which is infer signature. Now I will explain you why we are using infer signature here. Now let us first write the code for it. Now we will taking the variable name anything which we like. Let us take infer sig. Okay. Now we will write infer signature signature string string. What was it? Logistic model. Okay. Write logistic. Name of our variable was logistic model dot predict string. Now let us see why we are using the infer signature. Okay. Now we are now I will tell you why. We are using this infer signature because it automatically generate a signature by providing a sample of model of input and output. Okay. You can say the input and output schema of a model when logging. Okay. It is the use of the for infer signature. Okay. Now let us log our model. Log the model. Okay. Now this is a very important step here. Okay. Now first of all, let us write MLflow dot Scikit-learn dot log model. Okay. So let us give the value which is sk model. And you can see this in the documentation of the our MLflow. Okay. All the things are given there. Now let us write our logistic model. We have written this while we are training our external white logistic model. Okay. And now when we give an artifact path, which is model anything you can keep the name, depends on you. Now our signature, which is infer signature. Please ignore the recommendation from the AI because I have installed that the GitHub copy plot because that's why it is giving the recommendation. Okay. Now registered name. Okay, we'll keep here I think which is iris classification. Now see, now we have also logged the model successfully. Now first of all let us start our MLflow UI so that we can track our experiment. We'll start MLflow UI. When we start our MLflow UI, now let us run our code. It is giving an error. The error is no attribute Scikit-learn. Where? Now see, that was a spelling mistake. Let us see working or not. It will take some time. Let us wait. Now see, it has been run successfully. Now let us go there. Now see, we can see the experiment here now. See, this is our model matrix. It is showing our accuracy which is 96%. System matrix traces artifacts. Right? Now see, we have a new folder which is ML artifacts. Here we can see ml.model, model.pql, requirement.txt what we have installed. Okay, ml runs, trash. See our experiment, right? This is our model. See, this things we can create from our ML flow. and log our params and metrics. I hope you understand this. Now, after this, I will be creating one more project related to MLflow. Okay, so please like the video and subscribe the channel.